Welcome everyone to a brand new episode of the Theatre Thoughts podcast. I have my two friends from the Tragic Thespians podcast joining us again, Caterina and Ryan. Welcome back. Thank you for coming back.
I don't know.
But
I'm
we
lost.
have, and we are clapping.
It's dark in dark waters, and I don't know what's happening.
It's
but,
not my studio. What's going on?
I'm very lost.
Yeah, don't know what's going on. Yeah.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much for coming in and jumping on the podcast. So
Good. Thank you for the invite. It was very
No,
cool.
you guys were gracious enough to have me on yours, so I was like, love to have you in. It'd be great. I actually stole your idea of doing it all on one day. So
Nice.
Yeah.
We're happy.
So,
to
Well, it
help.
takes so much hassle out, right?
So much hassle,
Yeah.
you know, and just being like, it's this day, you can make it or you can't.
Yeah.
You know,
Exactly.
it's just a load off my shoulders, which
Yeah.
is good.
Exactly.
But what's new? What's going on with the podcast?
Well, do you want
You start first,
Yeah.
and then I'll jump in at
Okay.
random intervals.
to start? Yeah, fun, as it usually is. So, first of all, I have to say this feels weird. Is this how every guest feels?
Probably. I always say before I start like this, and we normally have the lights on, but we don't because we've sorted it. But I felt very like Sandra Sully sort of thing. It's like, yes. And why did you say that to the Prime Minister?
I love that. So, basically, was the question the future?
Yeah. What's going on with
Yeah,
the
what's going
podcast?
on?
So we are going to have a break for the first time in forever, which is fantastic. Just so then we can focus more on quality of our content, as well as producing more on stage, on screen productions. Hopefully,
Yeah.
it's a lot of toss up at the moment of what is and what isn't going to go ahead with the following year, but we've got high hopes and lots of exciting things under our belts. So, yeah, just a lot more work. We say a break, but really,
It's not really a break.
ever a break for us.
Yeah. We just kind of have gone from like one end of the cyclone into the eye. So now we're like, we need a break, and we're almost getting to the eye of where everything's quiet and we can, but then we need to make it out, and we
Yeah.
can't go up. We have to go through the other side, and then
That's it.
you know.
That's it. You've
So,
clearly
it's hectic.
studied cyclones and how they
Did you know that weather temperature?
I did the same thing when I went to Edinburgh because I was like, this will be a break. But I was like, no, it's only a break from your Australian stuff.
Yeah,
I worked
yeah.
twice as hard over at Edinburgh Fringe and then going to London as well. And I came back more tired than when I left. And I was just like, what a great break that was.
Good break. Nice. Just a few more grey hairs. What the fuck's this about?
Yeah, it's like,
Yeah.
what? No way. But that's awesome. I've listened to a lot of your recent episodes. I listened to my episode because I'm, got a big ego. And it was lovely, like just hearing like the chats and everything. Because I mean, obviously we do a lot of similar stuff, which is great. And you guys venture off into film as well, which I've spoken to Caterina, and I've spoken to you about that. And I mean, Ryan, I've seen you in some things recently. Did somebody say KFC? I've seen you there getting bashed against some podiums. Yeah, that was awesome.
It didn't help my foot fetish though.
No, I didn't do that.
No, it
I saw
didn't.
some feet getting shoved in your face.
Yeah, it has to be on my terms. It's a power thing for me.
Like, feet or no feet?
You don't know. Yeah.
I feel like you and Quentin Tarantino would get along very well.
Yeah. It has to be a dirty foot, guys. Come on.
Oh, God. He would have loved the Barbie movie.
He would have
There was
loved the
so
Barbie
many
movie.
feet in that.
There is a solid shot in the Barbie movie where her foot goes like that.
Yeah.
And then she goes and then lands on the floor again. And then like her feet are dirty. And I was like, man, fucking guys must just be watching this like, oh, this is more feet. It's feet. It's scary.
Love it.
Horrendous.
And this is your partner, just so you know.
Yeah,
Yes.
unfortunately. Divorce is expensive.
We're very happy, is what she's
happily
trying to say.
Excellent. I totally lost where we're going at for a second then. Talking
KFC?
about...
Did
Yeah,
someone
you've
say
been
KFC?
busy. You've been busy.
KFC.
Yeah.
KFC's good. KFC's fun.
But, so you've been pushing off into, doing a lot of acting work as well.
Yeah. Yeah, I have actually. I've actually noticed that like it sounds weird because of course, and it's very obvious, but it's also weird to say it. But the KFC ad has kind of like, I've just noticed that auditions that I'm getting are a little bit, not like random dude shouts Arabically. Like there's none of that really anymore. If it's like a character like that who is Egyptian or Middle Eastern or something like that, I've noticed that they actually have a thought out story. And I was like, oh, what the fuck? Like I expected doing the KCA was great, but I didn't expect anything to kind of be like, cool, and now I can quit my job and I'll only do auditions and then it'll just go up. I didn't expect that.
Yeah.
And it didn't happen, so good that I didn't expect it. But it's also just weird that like some of the calls I got about auditions and stuff before I got this ad, people were like, hey, can you just like speak Arabic? And I was like, a little bits here and there. And they were like, okay, well, we just need you to shout some like kind of
sounds
stuff.
scary.
Really?
Sounds scary. And I was like,
wow.
oh, and they're like, yeah, you're a security guard. A guy runs past you, and you're like, hey,
Yeah.
stop that. And then you have to say it in Arabic. And I was like, I could probably figure out how to say it, but but just to err on the side of caution, don't say I speak Arabic, because I feel like that's kind of like a disservice if I go in there and go, and just like do that. That's nothing. Do you know what I mean? It's just a sound, like a guttural sound.
It's
kind
very
of thing.
stereotypical.
Yeah.
You're starting to get typecasted a lot, but now
It's kind of like
it's
if I'm still kind of being typecasted, but it's not harmful. It's like this character is like he has this relationship with this character and this story. And look at whoa, and he's got like, oh, look at this plateau here, and it's that kind of stuff.
I
Which
guess
is really
that's
cool.
a positive, isn't it?
Oh, it's a mad positive, man.
Yeah.
I like a young actor, having been in acting school and then graduating. My whole thing was like, man, nah, I'm gonna break through this, and I'm gonna like punch through the stereotypes, and damn, man, it's just I'm gonna like blah 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 blah. Like that's how I felt. I was like, yeah, all right, let's do it. And everything I got, like I think one of the first things I got was like an extra, like in the background part, but it was for a TV show where an explosion was about to go off at a mosque.
Oh my god!
So I had like which isn't, I mean, that stuff happens. That's not a disservice to storytelling. That does happen quite a bit. But like I had like the hat on, and they put like a big thing on me, and I was like.
Gotcha.
I was like, this feels really weird. Like, not weird like, oh my God, everyone's racist.
Yeah.
Weird as in, like, I've never worn this before. How interesting and weird. And then, like, there were copied and pasted looks of mine that were just everywhere in the same stuff. And I was like, wow, man. Like, and it was just a like, kind of like a moment that kind of like shook me awake a little bit. Because I was like, oh, this is not how it is for everyone.
Yeah.
Like, no one goes through and goes like, yeah, man, people are going to change the story so that an ethnic character is in it. For me, no one does that. Like,
yeah, right.
do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, unless you got the power to do it, no one does that.
Right.
And I still remember on that topic when Ryan did his first big show that had gotten quite a lot of really good reviews. Because I'm not being biased, Ryan's great. But one of the characters, it was a Middle Eastern character, but he was commenting how he missed the Cronulla riots. And I was like,
okay.
I don't think that would have slid well, but because I guess the audience was very much not Middle Eastern, they were like, oh, that's so funny.
How interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember as you was talking about typecasting, and I don't know if this actually happened or if this is just one of those myth stories.
Yeah.
But I remember when I was in uni, I'm going to edit this, but you might comment on this. One of the courses had the actors stand up in a class and basically say what you would be, you know? Like
Oh, I've heard about
you
this.
can play a mother, a
Yes.
teenager, whatever.
Yeah.
I've had that.
Was that true?
Yeah.
Yeah?
No.
There you go.
I did that.
Yeah.
I've been same.
Yeah. And I was like, as you were saying it, I was like, that's really not, like, I get why you're doing it, but also, really? Like,
Yeah.
Is that why what we should be doing?
And you know what? I think, I don't know if this is the point of that exercise, doing it, but like in my head, this could just be my ego talking. But in my head, if people do that and they go, see, you would even not, it doesn't have to be an acting teacher, it could be like literally anyone. If they go like, man, you'd be like a really good blah, and you just grow the beard out and you'd be a great blah, and you could go, you could do like whatever. In my mind, I don't kind of go, oh no, well that's all I'm limited to. I go like, fuck you, I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm not doing that.
And I think,
I'm not gonna
there
pretend
were
I've got-
people that took it that way. They're like, no,
Yeah.
I'm not
Yeah.
fucking doing that.
Yeah.
As I'm going to be consigned to that role.
Yeah, like why would I limit myself before I've even stepped my foot out the door? Like, I'm not gonna be it. And actually, you know what? This is something that I think about all the time. And that play that you were talking about, when I first got the audition for it, I was like, oh, this is really good. And I was like, and I was, I just left acting school. So my head was up in the clouds. And I was like, yeah, let's change and be different. So the character is obviously Middle Eastern character, and I had to have like an accent for it, but like it was a Western suburbs accent. When I did the audition, I didn't do that. I just did it in an Aussie accent.
Okay.
And then I was like, and thank God my agent said what she said at the time.
Yeah.
I sent it over and I was like, I edited it, sent it over, and I was like, cool, okay, I'm done. And she was like, cool. Can you put an accent on? And I was like,
right. Yeah.
oh, like what would you like, an Egyptian or kind of like a Lebanese? Like I was, my head was there because I just fucking acting college. So I was like, yeah, which one do you want? Let's work together, you know. And she was like, just do like a kind of, bro, like that kind of an accent. And however crudely she said it, she was like, just do that accent. And I was like, yeah, I guess. So I did that. I got it. Oh my God, wow. I was talking to Kat about it after I'd gotten it. And I was like, does this do a disservice to people of this ethnicity if I do this role?
Yeah.
If I run into this role and I run around, I'm like, bro, what are you doing, man? Fuck off. And I'm doing all that stuff. And it's like really hit me on that. Does that do a disservice to people, A, in the Western suburbs, but B, generally of that ethnicity and other ethnicities similar?
Yeah.
Am I now kind of going like tongue in cheek, like, yeah, right? Like, is that kind of the relationship I'm forming?
Yeah, gotcha.
With myself and everyone else? So I was like, I don't know if I should do this. And Kat was like, can you fucking pull your head out of your ass? Like, you're doing it because you got it and this is a great opportunity for you. And I was like, yeah, you're right. And she was like, also, think of it like this. It's not a disservice. The ball is in your court because you have ownership over this character now.
Yeah.
So take it wherever you want to take it.
Yeah.
Workshop it. And then I was like, yeah, I guess, not knowing what the show was going to be, like how the process was going to be. Because then when we went in and did the show, the whole thing was like we talked about this on our last episode together. Like, it was a collaborative thing where we took the story, like a book that was written about this play.
Yeah.
And then turned it into a play.
Yeah.
So then everyone had ownership over their character, as long as it was okay and it fit the story.
Yeah, right.
Everyone had ownership over their character to do their own character justice.
Okay.
And drive it in a direction that they wanted it to be driven in.
Yeah.
And that was kind of like how I took ownership over it. So like it was kind of it was like a mad blessing to do it, but it was also like hey, young moron, pull your head out of your ass and think clearly, because if you get these opportunities, you can do what you want with them. Like, as long as people don't go, hey, speak Arabic, and you're like, I'm not speaking Arabic.
Yeah.
And it's like, but you're Lebanese. Like, well, I'll speak Lebanese Arabic. Like, it's not about that. It's just like, you can do what you want. You don't have to play it up and be like, oh, do.
Yeah.
You can do it honestly and with some kind of semblance of respect for the story and your own character kind of thing.
Fascinating. Yeah, because I guess like I'm so far removed from like the whole acting aspect of, you know, TV and film. Like I did when I was a teenager, but like, what do you know when you're that age? And I think like the most like confronting thing I was asked, they were like, oh, would you shave your head? And I was like, yes. And I was like, oh, I have to check with my mum.
Mum has to say yes first. But
Mum, can I shave my head? Like that was like, you know, the most like, oh, what do I say sort of thing. Right. But and then I never, you know, I didn't go into it when I was older. Yeah. But so I find it interesting, like hearing it from nowadays perspectives as well.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Well, and that's the thing. Nowadays, those stories are like everywhere. They're not uncommon. They're so common. And then because things are coming to light now about people in the industry. A lot of people are coming forward and going, "Oh, it was a mad battle." Like,
yeah, right.
Who was the guy that? Oh God, I can't believe I've forgotten his name. It's one of your favorite actors. He was in Game of Thrones.
Who the hell was
Tyrion Lannister.
Peter Dinklage.
Peter Dinklage, obviously phenomenal actor and a fucking massive presence and a really brilliant talent. I read a thing, like I found an article that he did an interview, and I found an article that he was in this interview from a while ago, and he was like, most of my career when I was coming up in this industry was saying no to, hey, could you be a leprechaun? Could you be this? Could you be this?
Yeah.
And he was like, so much of my career trying to make a pave for me, like paving my own way through this industry, was me getting those roles and going, no, I'm not gonna fucking do that. No,
I think that's, and I'm assuming that's why he's one of your favorites as well. It's like it's so respectful, and he made such a presence as Tyrion in Game of Thrones. You know? And now he's like he's such a presence in Hollywood.
Yeah.
In terms of just being an actor.
Yeah.
You know,
Exactly.
not because of anything else.
Yeah.
It's just who he is, and he's a phenomenal actor.
Yeah.
He's a great
So
actor.
good.
Yeah.
You know.
And no one refers to him now as Peter Dinklage, that famous small like no
Yeah.
one says that
No.
now.
No.
Peter Dinklage, and then people go, "Oh, I loved him. Remember when he was in?" And then like
Yeah.
people talk about his roles, his talent,
Mm.
stuff that he does outside of acting. Like, do you know what I mean? It's not.
Yeah.
It's not just that doesn't confine him,
Yeah.
Exactly.
and that's
definitely.
great. That's like something that sticks in my head all the fucking time now.
I love it.
It's great.
Great chat. Well done. Well, I'd love to go into our theatre thoughts questions,
Yes,
if that's
let's do
okay. I've decided to do them at the beginning of the episode
Oh,
now
okay.
instead of the end.
Okay.
So, let's see.
We're really shaking it
I
up,
know.
Justin.
Season 3.
Oh my god, season
Let's go.
3. Wow.
It's loose this season.
What's in that water?
Justin's turned season
my
3.
goodness.
Whoa.
Okay, well, let's see if your answers have changed since I last
Alright.
asked you them. Okay.
Yeah, okay.
So, what's been your favourite production you've seen recently?
I don't know what you were gonna say.
you have to go first.
Well, oh my god. Well, mine's actually gonna be different to yours. I really enjoyed the Spelling Bee musical we
yeah,
saw.
Putnam, yeah, Putnam.
It's
Yeah.
so good. I
Yeah.
felt like it really like enhanced like archetypes as
Mm.
well, and it
Yeah.
was like it was just a lot of fun. And
Yeah.
it's like it's so hard to just watch a show and just like not like just be what's the word, like hypnotized with just how fun and silly it is,
Yeah.
and especially when they had the audience
Oh,
participation.
that was the best. Watching them come up, the audience come up, and just endure it, you know, as part of the show.
Yeah.
Was the best. And then just even the stuff they made them, like, for instance, they called them up one by one and they were like, oh, this is Bob Fisher.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
recently had a dinner with Barnaby Joyce and
Yeah.
loved
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
and
yeah.
so you just see their faces go, oh my God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do I do this now?
But the funniest part, and I don't know if you remember, but the funniest one was they had the last one left because they tried to get them all out before the end of Act 1. The last one left had this ridiculous hard word, and he spelt it correctly.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
no.
And so the guy who spelt it was just like, that's actually correct, yes.
Yeah.
And so they gave him like supercalifragilistic, like something
Yeah, yeah.
ridiculous
Stupid,
no one
yeah.
could spell. And he was like, shit. It was so funny.
So good.
Far out.
And each character was just so well established. It was just
Yeah.
like beautiful, perfect acting. Like, so it really felt like you were in like America watching
Yeah.
a Spelling Bee,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
it was
yeah.
just
Good fun
taking it
show.
too seriously.
Yeah.
It was so
They take
fun.
that shit so seriously.
Yeah, man.
Don't they? Crazy.
I thought that was a joke that like TV shows did for like funny exposition about
No,
something.
they're
really
big time
serious about it.
businesses, you know?
Yeah.
Gotta
Spelling.
People make
words.
millions of dollars on spelling bees.
Yeah, just being a good speller.
Which is that's a fun thing you did when you were in year 3 and then
Yeah, yeah.
stopped after that. Do you know what I mean?
I did a spelling contest when I was in high school and I lost
Yeah,
it.
right.
And then
Oh.
ended up, doing English teaching. So say what you will.
What was it? Yeah.
Exactly. I have autocorrect.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
It's like ChatGPT now, you know. What about you, Ryan?
Wicked,
Oh, yeah.
because
yeah.
we finally saw it and it was
Lovely.
just
Saw it
great.
twice.
It was so great. We saw it twice, but it was great.
Yeah.
It was really good. It was like, actually, we found the ticket. We were doing some like cleaning some stuff up in our apartment, and we found my ticket
Yeah.
from 2010 when I went and saw
Oh,
it.
right.
And everything was mostly faded, but
Yeah.
you could see the date and you could see Wicked on it and stuff.
that's
And I was
cute.
like, oh, whoa, like it just tripped me out.
Yeah, one of those classics. You
yeah.
can't- and it's. I feel like the dynamic between the two. It's Sheridan and Courtney.
Sharon and
Yeah.
Courtney, yeah.
Yeah,
Sharon and Courtney.
their chemistry is beautiful,
Mm.
and they found a really good way to make it fresh.
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
a musical that's
Yeah.
so overdone, and it was just beautiful. And
Yeah. Well, we had them in not long ago for a
yeah.
chat.
Oh,
They
yeah.
were so lovely. God, they were lovely.
They seem like such genuine, cool people.
Yeah, Sheridan, you could just tell, was so excited and grateful
Yeah.
for the role that
Yeah.
she had.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
Courtney's obviously got like a wealth of experience behind her
Sure.
already. Just seemed like such a genuine person.
yeah,
You know,
Right.
really kind soul. It was it was lovely having them in.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's so
That's
And
so
then,
cool.
I can tell you because it was out by then.
right, nice.
I spoke to Stephen Schwartz the other day.
Whoa.
Very
Yeah,
cool.
because he was part of Prince of Egypt, the musical that's being
Yeah.
streamed live.
Sure.
It's access on
I was
streaming
thinking
now.
about that the other day.
And
Whoa.
and so I had him on Zoom and I had to chat to him about
Fun.
Prince of Egypt, but I managed to like chuck in some wicked questions.
Sure.
Because I mean, how could you not?
Damn. Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah.
Damn, that's
Yeah.
so cool.
So I was
Well
like
done.
kind of shitting bricks beforehand, and I was
Man.
like, "This is Stephen Schwartz I'm talking to."
yeah, a juggernaut in the like.
Yeah, like
shit,
one breath
dude.
away from Andrew Lloyd Webber.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I
Damn.
was like,
He got to talk to you. So
That's
who's
just-
really
Yeah,
the lucky
yeah.
one?
"Who's the real gift here?"
Yeah. Can we tag
Yeah.
Stephen Schwartz in there?
Be
Our
like,
mate
you know.
Stephen.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hey, look, me and Stefan were talking.
You know, that's what it
Yeah.
is, Schwartzy.
Yeah.
love
And he was
that. Well
lovely. He
done.
was so sweet and generous with his time. And yeah,
So
it was
cool.
great.
So is he? Where was he? Zooming from? Like
New York.
New York. Okay,
Yeah,
right,
he
cool.
was actually about to go into a workshop for a new show he's working on.
Right,
So,
okay.
Ooh, a new Schwartz show.
Did he say
Um,
anything?
No, he
about
didn't
that?
say anything else.
Oh.
But at the end, I was like, because I got him to say little hello to Sheridan Courtney.
Yeah.
And then I was like, obviously you must be very excited for the film, but it was coming to the end of our time, and I was like,
Yeah.
but that's another podcast episode, which we'll get you back on. For.
Yeah,
He's
yeah,
like,
yeah.
I'd love to come back, and I was like,
Well, your words are mine,
I
Stephen.
didn't say it, Stephen.
You got it on camera. So
yeah.
It's proof. It's actual evidence. Stephen's coming back on.
I'll put it in my calendar. Yeah. But that was like
Wow.
massive.
That's
Well
so
done.
cool.
Yeah.
Oh,
Thank you.
how exciting.
Man, far
Yeah.
Growing
out.
up in this world.
That was the big one.
Yeah.
What was the question? The other question. I think I asked you that one. Oh, here we go. Name a play or a production that's left you speechless.
Ooh. Damn.
Tough one.
Mojo.
Obviously, the Theatre Thoughts podcast. The
Obviously, the
Obviously.
Theatre Thoughts podcast.
that production.
Always.
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah. What do you got?
Mojo for me.
Mojo.
Mojo
What was that?
by Jez Butterworth is a show that's set in like England,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like a gangstery kind of thing. But I saw it for the first time at STC in 2013 or 14 or something like that. Like a mate and I just got tickets because we were trying to see a show at least every 2 weeks or something like that, which cost a lot of money. But we saw Mojo, and it was just this ridiculous. Like it was just. I was kind of blown away, and it was kind of, and like since I saw it, I've kind of been like trying to put it on, and I've been I've just been trying to put it on since, because I was like, man, I really want to put this show on. I want to see what I can do with it, what I can rework. I'm trying to not figure out, but I'm get in touch with Jez Butterworth and be like, hey, I would love to put your play on.
Oh,
Which
great.
is hopefully one of the future.
fingers
Yeah, which is
things.
hopefully one of the future things. Yeah,
Put it on the podcast.
Yeah.
Tell me it's happening.
We're manifesting.
Yes.
That it's
Yes.
all going to go
Manifest.
smoothly.
Yes.
So, but for me, it was actually the latest one from one of Ryan's friends, directed Jennifer Soldatic.
Oh,
She
yeah.
directed a show at National Theatre of Parramatta, which was called
was great.
Faded.
Yeah.
Fade.
That was great.
It was
Yeah.
really good, and it was really, I feel, personal, because it was a commentary on the film industry, particularly in America, and the way it changes people. And
Right. Gotcha.
for myself to have been in different roles in film, I've been very lucky. There's also been a lot of interesting experiences where you kind of feel like you're losing yourself, or there are times where you might have a bigger ego, or there are people that kind of cut you off
Yeah,
because they do
right.
think that they are too good for you.
Yeah.
So this was very much a commentary on that, and how far are you willing to go?
Interesting.
Which is something that I feel like it's a big battle for a lot of us creatives every day, because it's so easy to slip into that and to turn a blind eye to a lot of negative things that are happening in the industry, and kind of just have to remind yourself, like, what are you losing here? How much humanity are you losing?
Interesting.
Yeah.
And there's a big discussion in film at the moment as well.
Yeah.
I feel that's, you see it a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was good to see it on stage, and it was very good because they did have a Mexican presence. They had 2 Mexican actors. I believe they're
lovely.
Mexican.
Yeah.
They did speak, Mexican, and they had some subtitles on stage.
Oh,
which is
wow.
really
Yeah.
cool.
That's so cool.
I've never seen that before, but to see like on a projector in front of
Yeah,
me, and I'm
nice.
like, wow, in this today,
Yeah.
like, where everyone needs subtitles to even understand what's
Yeah,
going on
yeah.
in your
Yeah.
own native
For
language.
some reason, I've started doing it. I don't know why.
Yeah.
And you can't
started
stop
doing it.
after. You think
Yeah.
you're deaf
Yeah.
afterwards.
Yeah. It's like, can I hear them? No, yes, I can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's exactly right. So to see subtitles, I was like, this is great. I
Yeah.
was loving it.
You know
So-
why? No, I do know why. Because I watched what was the Korean show? Oh my goodness, Squid Game.
Squid
Thank
Game.
you.
Ah,
Yeah,
love
I watched
right.
Squid Game and had subtitles on for it because I
Right.
didn't want to have the
Oh.
horrible English dub.
Yes, yes.
And
Yeah.
so from then on, I've just started putting on. I got into this habit of, this trend of watching, Japanese and Korean TV
Yeah.
shows. So I had subtitles on, and now I
Yeah.
just do it
Yeah.
because
that's
out
the
of
way.
habit.
It's just on now.
Yeah,
I
Yeah.
think that's how it kind of like started with us.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
and here we are.
Excellent. I want to ask you a question that isn't on here, but it popped up in my head.
Yes.
Let's talk film. What's your Oscar predictions for 2024?
Good question.
Yeah, I know this will be airing around January, and you wouldn't have seen films, but I'm wondering if there's anything on your radar, like that's going to be in the Oscars.
It is interesting because usually we're quite up to date with this because we do